There are places on this earth that exist outside the law. Not just beyond it, but in a dimension parallel to it. Places where governments build walls, post guards, and then turn a blind eye. They abandon the souls within to a new, more savage set of rules. These are not just prisons. They are sovereign nations of violence, kingdoms of despair ruled by the most ruthless. Deep in the unforgiving heart of the Sonoran Desert lies one such kingdom. The locals don't speak its official name. They call it La Sombra, the shadow. Because once you fall under it, the light of the outside world never touches you again. La Sombra is a maximum security penitentiary, a concrete tomb for the most dangerous men in Mexico. But the Mexican government doesn't truly run La Sombra. The guards patrol the perimeter, but inside it is a self-governed hell. And in this empire, one man reigned supreme. His name was whispered like a curse. El Martillo, the Hammer. A former high-ranking cartel enforcer, imprisonment just gave him a concentrated kingdom to rule. Into this brutal universe walked a man who had no business being there. He was a 22-year-old American college student named Leo Martinez, a kid on spring break whose biggest crime was being in the wrong place at the very worst time. Framed in a drug deal, the justice system chewed him up and spat him out into the darkness. This isn't just a story of survival, it's the story of a descent. This is the story of inmate number 734, the American who walked into the shadow and fought his way back out. For Leo Martinez, the nightmare began with a 6-month blur of corrupt courts. The charge was drug trafficking, cocaine planted in his rental car. His sentence, 25 years. His destination was La Sombra. The first assault on the senses is the smell, a putrid cocktail of fear and decay. Then comes the heat. A suffocating force radiating from the concrete. Processing is a ritual of degradation, designed to strip away your identity. Leo became Sagtur 734. He was no longer a person, he was a number. But nothing could prepare him for the moment he walked into the main yard. The patio. It wasn't chaos. It was a highly structured living organism. To the north were the paisas, the common criminals. To the west, the sureños, gangsters from the south. But the east side belonged to Los Halcones de Hierro, the Iron Falcons, El Martillo's crew. Leo, a deer in a forest of wolves, tried to make himself invisible. He kept his eyes on the ground, remembering a warning. Don't stare. Staring gets you tested. His first test came within 60 seconds. A simple bump from a skinny inmate. Before Leo could react, an older, wiry inmate stepped between them. This was Ricardo. He said something quiet and sharp in Spanish. Leave him, he's new, not worth the trouble. The man backed off with a sneer. Ricardo was a former university professor, imprisoned on political charges. He survived on intelligence. You are American, Ricardo said, his voice a dry rasp. You have the look, like you still believe there are rules. Ricardo became Leo's reluctant guide, explaining the unwritten laws. Rule number 1, everything has a price. This was La Cobra, the snake. You paid for your bunk, for your food, for protection. If you couldn't pay, you became property. He also explained the power of El Martillo, the prison's true warden. Months crawled by. Leo survived. He paid his dues and kept his head down, hardening. But his anonymity was a temporary shield. El Martillo's second in command, El Chacal, the Jackal, had been watching him. One day in the laundry, El Chacal and his enforcers cornered Leo. Americano, El Chacal sneered. El Martillo feels you are not sharing your family's love. I pay my dues, Leo said, his voice steady. You pay rent, El Chacal laughed. Now you pay a tax, 50%, or we find other ways for you to pay. That night, Leo consulted Ricardo. They are testing your spine, the old man whispered. There is a third way. You must become more trouble than you are worth. The next time the Halcones cornered him, Leo took a deep breath and screamed, Guard! Guard! They're robbing me! The yard went silent. Involving the guards was the ultimate sin. But it was unexpected. A siren blared. Guards raised their rifles. Trapped by procedure, El Chacal could only back away, his eyes promising murder. Leo earned a brutal beating later that week, but the extortion attempt stopped. He had a spine. This new status put him directly on El Martillo's radar. The Hammer was intrigued. A few weeks later, the prison exploded into a full-scale riot. It was pure bedlam. Caught in the chaos, Leo saw a group of inmates beating an old man. He threw a brick to stop them. They turned on him, but two of El Martillo's men intervened, saving him. El Martillo wants to see you, one of them growled. Now. He was dragged before the Hammer, who watched the riot with the detachment of a king. The American, El Martillo said in perfect English, "You have courage, I have a job for you, you will work for me." It was a deal with the devil, protection in exchange for his soul. "I can't," Leo said, his voice firm. "I'm not one of you." The Hammer stared, then laughed. "Go home? Americano, this is your home. Get him out of my sight." In the aftermath, Leo was a pariah, a dead man walking. Seeing his despair, Ricardo leaned in close and whispered of a prison myth, La fuga ciega, the blind escape. He spoke of secret tunnels beneath the prison, their entrance hidden in the forbidden solitary block, El Pozo. For the next year, they planned in secret. It became their obsession. Their chance came with a chaotic prison transfer, the perfect distraction. That night, they slipped into El Pozo, a terrifying tomb of dust and decay. They found the crumbling wall and pried a brick loose, revealing a black, gaping hole. As they were about to enter, a slow, deliberate clapping echoed from the shadows. It was El Martillo. "Bravo, Americano," he said calmly. "I've been watching. This tunnel is my escape route now. You will be my guides." Forced into the claustrophobic tunnel, they journeyed into the bowels of the earth. They reached a dead end, but Leo felt a breeze. Above them was a vertical shaft with a rusted ladder. "The American first," El Martillo ordered. Leo climbed. He pushed open the grate and saw the desert night sky. He was almost free. He looked down. Ricardo was struggling to climb. El Chacal, impatient, climbed right behind him. With a loud crack, the ladder broke under their combined weight. El Chacal clung on, but Ricardo, old and frail, lost his grip and fell to his death. "Your friend was weak," El Martillo called up indifferently. "Now, help my man up." Something inside Leo snapped. He looked at the heavy iron grate in his hands. "For Ricardo," he whispered, and let the grate fall. It plummeted, striking El Chacal and sending them both to the bottom. El Martillo was alone, trapped in the dark. He screamed curses, the roars of a king in his own tomb. Leo scrambled out and ran into the desert night, not looking back. He walked for 2 days before being found, a ghost baked by the sun. He had escaped La Sombra. The official story was that El Martillo was killed in the riot. The tunnels were never found. Leo made it back to the United States and eventually cleared his name. But you can leave a place like La Sombra, but it never truly leaves you. He is a free man, but he is forever a prisoner of his memories. The story of Leo Martinez is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. If you found this story compelling, please hit the like button and subscribe to Prison Files. Ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode. What prison should we investigate next? Let us know in the comments below. Easy eye.